Hi guys, it's Carlos at the Carlos Method. Today we're doing a 25-minute banded glutes workout at home. Get thoroughly warmed up, loosen up your back and your hips, and let's get started. Okay guys, we're going in 20 seconds. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We're posting workouts every Monday and Thursday. Hit that notification bell for the weekly updates. We're going to start with a banded 2 touches with the band. I'm going to put a heavy band on here. I'm going to a quarter squat position. And we're going to go on the buzzer. 3, 2, side and behind. Go, so we go there. We're going to go there, okay? So engage your core, really engage through your glutes. And we're just doing a lateral tap and a posterior tap, okay? That's my voice projection, folks, okay? We're filming indoors today, normally we film outside, so normally my voice is like booming. I have to make sure I get the voice projection right, otherwise it's going to bounce all off the walls. Okay, my sister's telling me to cut and get back to the workout. So abs tight, squeeze through your glutes, sideways and behind. Okay, we're going here for a minute, guys, alright? It's a nice one just to fire up the glute. I can feel that in my right butt cheek there. Feel free to choose the band that works best for you. I've got a fairly heavy band on here. Keep the legs stable. So slight bend on the knee, foot straight ahead. Okay, and we're just continually tapping forward and behind. Sorry, side and behind. 3 more seconds. Change sides. So tap to the sides, tap posterior. Sit into it a little bit. And like I said, if the band resistance isn't correct, feel free to pause the video just now, put a heavier band on. You want to make sure though that it's not so heavy that you can't get the range of motion. These bands with mini resistance bands are fantastic for hitting the glutes, for glute activation work, and firing up the glutes before you do a gym session, doing a heavy weight session. Obviously they're good on their own, like we're doing in this workout today, doing just resistance bands for the legs. Definitely good on their own. You're good as a finisher as well at the end of the session. So there's flexibility in what you can do with them, and how you can use them, and how you can integrate them into your session. Okay, I feel that I'm still on that side where I've worked it, but obviously definitely on this side as I'm reaching out and tapping behind me. Core's engaged always, protecting the lower back. Okay, banded glute bridges. We're going to go onto the mat now. Oh, we good there, Vic? Okay, so head down, you're going to drive your hips up into the air, squeeze, come back down, okay? Make sure the heels are close to the hips, but make sure you're able to maintain a neutral pelvis, so you're not overly arching your pelvis. Pull this down a bit. Okay, I've always got problems with my tops hanging out, my trousers and stuff. This is always telling me to tuck them in normally. I normally do tuck them in actually. Okay, so hips are up as high as you can on a ski slope position. So at the top of the bridge, just hold briefly at the top, get that tension on the right and left glutes. And the knees, hips and shoulders should all be in a straight line. You should be able to just ski down on that slope there. Okay, got 20 seconds left. The head is down and relaxed, the hands are by your sides, shoulders relaxed. And just all about this hip action. We just really want to get this hip extension. We really want to get this firing pattern correct. We just want the glutes to really fire up. The hamstrings are going to assist. Core's engaged. Banded squats, guys, standing up. Yeah, it's important to get the firing pattern right. You want the glutes to really work with the hamstrings helping, not the other way around. Right, nice and tall. You sit back into the hips and stand up. So I just tend to just clasp my hands. You can reach them out in front of you, like so. Just as that. Not bothering you, you can get either way. Hands in front of just clasping them, sitting back into the hips. And again, really focusing on the glutes. Okay, so sitting back, standing up towards squeezing the bottom. Alright? Yeah, so go back to that firing pattern, that's what I was trying to say. When you're doing the glute bridges on the floor, make sure the glutes are dominating, taking over, and the hamstrings are just assisting. What I used to get personally is I used to be tight on my hip flexors and quads. My hamstrings used to do all the work. My glutes were hardly working, they're relatively inactive. And obviously if you then carry that over into a squat or a deadlift, that's going to compound even more. So it's not going to be good. You can get the wrong muscle tension and it's going to cause long-term back problems and muscle stiffness. Okay, so it's your banded squats. And rest. Okay, banded lateral walks. So we're going to sit down into a quarter squat position. We're going to go here. Okay, to the side. can fit 2 in, I think, back corner with the camera. We good, yeah? Obviously limits on our camera, filming in our living room. So we've got to just be careful with our positioning. So here's your banded lateral walk. So you can sit into a quarter squat position, really stretching the band in the lateral direction, get the tension in the top of the hip. You're working on the glute med, glute minimus, the 2 smaller muscles in the glutes. Obviously your glute max is your main big muscle. These ones are stability ones, that obviously help you when you're running. And they need to be strong in condition. If they're weak, when you run, you'll notice your hips are just kind of all over the place. There's not much stability there. So it's a good one to do before running. Yeah, good area. Good exercise to use this one, lateral band walks. 10 more seconds, then we've got monster walks coming up after this. Again, just a really good effective selection of exercises that you can use with the bands at home in your living room. So move that out of the way a little bit. Okay, forward and back. We go back. How are we looking on the camera? Should we count 1, 2, 3. We've got one more in there. Back, back. She's busy looking out the window. I think you're looking at the birds or something. Just dropped off a bit. She's had a donut and a tea earlier, so she's got a sugar slump, I think. Good, just there. Back, back, yeah. How far back to there? Alright, okay, so this is your banded monster walks. We're going diagonal direction, guys, as you can see. I'm taking diagonal steps, and then back, yeah. So, again, hitting the glutes, different angles, different tensions. Just working it in different positioning. And different going back again, yeah. Okay, so it's your monster walks. It's just basically diagonal behind, diagonal in front. Really stretching that band to get some tension. I can really feel it on my hips already. Okay, back. Rest. Body weight reverse lunges. Okay, let's take the band off quickly. Facing the camera or side on? Side on, okay. Hands on the hips, nice and tall, we good? And we go backwards and down, into lunge, stand up tall. Backwards and down, stand up tall, okay there? Okay, so your core's engaged, you're nice and tall. So use your reverse lunges, body weight, you get a nice stretch on the hip flex from the quad. Sinking down into that lunge. Make sure you're loading your hip here. If you feel in your knees, then obviously what's happening, you're probably going too narrow. You're loading that kneecap. So make sure you've got like a nice long lunge back, 90-90 on both legs, okay? Nice and tall, chest up. Obviously if you're in the gym, you'd be loading this with a barbell, sandbag, dumbbells. So many variations for lunges, but obviously what's important first off is to get the range of motion, to get the movement quality, get the movement down, get it dialed in. Okay, nice and tall. More tight. As you can see, we are going to do a few bodyweight versions without the bands as well. We integrate into patterns. Feet wide. We good on the camera? Bodyweight sumo squat. So I want your feet wide, your toes out, and we're going to sit back into the hips, the knees spread out so they're lining over the second or third toe. Find what's comfortable for you stance-wise. Here it's opening me up on the adductors because you've got 5 muscles on the inside leg. 2 short adductors, 3 long adductors. And it's important that you get there. But this is close, guys. I think she's quite tired. She's been filming a lot with me all weekend, so I will let her off. The camera's in the right position. She can feel free to have a snooze behind there. Okay, so we're sitting back into the hips, just squeezing your glutes at the top of the motion. Again, when you're squatting, it is good to do a variety of positions. So narrow, standard, and sumo squats. Because in everyday life, when you're squatting, you're bending down at the hips, bending at the knees. Forward lunges, hands on the hips. Forward lunges, nice and tall, we good, Beck? So forward lunges, 90-90 on both legs. Okay. Gosh, she's in a funny, she's got pupils now, on the camera. Okay, this is all live, so it's all good. Core tight, abs engaged. And we're going forward alternating lunges. Yeah, so what I was trying to say, when you're squatting in everyday life, it's never one particular movement in pattern, is it? You're bending down to pick up your kids or shopping, or you're bending down to pick something up. A squat can be in lots of different positions and angles. So when you are doing the gym, obviously a gym squat is different to a squat where you're at home picking stuff up. But do vary your positioning basically. Different loads, different speeds in your squat. different foot positions, different widths. Yeah, it's good to just vary when you're training really. Similar, lots of different movement patterns. You don't get pattern overload. Unless obviously you're training specifically for something. You're a powerlifter or something obviously. Banded fire hydrants, get the band on. Nice jibber jabber. On the mat, on the floor. You good, Beck? Okay, both sides. So we're going to heel out, and then abs tight on like a tabletop. And you're squeezing on the band. I've got a fairly heavy band here, so I can really feel it on the glutes. I'm going to do 30 seconds one side and 30 seconds on the other side. Again, another good glute activation exercise. Really pump the glutes, get them working, get the blood flow into there. I'm going to turn around in a second. Other side, we're good, Beck? Yeah. So here, banded fire hydrants. So abs are tight, back's nice and long, the torso is rigid and stiff. And you're just getting a subduction through the hip, taking it out to the side as far as you can. Slow control tempo, don't jerk it or swing it. Squeeze. You squeeze and work that glute, work that booty. Okay. Banded clam shot, so lying on your side. How's the ankle, Bet? We're good? I need to keep checking my sister just to get the right position for you guys so you can see it well. Now, clamshells, feet in line with the hips, opening out and down. So banded clamshells. Clamshells are good, just body weight, but there does come a time, obviously, when you need some progression, you need some overload. That's obviously a key principle in resistance training. So you do want to start overloading your movements, and obviously these resistance bands are good. You can see there's a constant tension on throughout the range. So you don't need long on this, 30 seconds, I can really feel that muscle burning. Change sides. Okay. Sorry guys, keep checking, it's just I can't see what she sees, so just got to make sure it's looking good for our production. Alright, so banded clamshells again, you're really working on the top part of the hip, the glute. I always find this stuff tough. I'm quite weak on my hips and my glutes. So I do a lot of this kind of work before I deadlift, squat, and do some lower body sessions. Okay, banded right 2-way touches. Okay, we're back to the first. So that was the first round, so we've just got one more round, second round. And we're into right side and behind. Go there and there, okay? So out to the side and behind. Core is engaged, lateral and posterior. Really stretching that band, get the full range you can. Get that extension through the hip. There. You put your hand on your hip, you'll feel it, yeah, you'll feel that glute tensing and engaging. Whew. I'm building up a little bit of a sweat here actually. Okay, so I've filmed quite a lot of videos this weekend. We've done some core ones, some glute ones, a lot of floor work ones. We're doing some more hit and plyo ones soon as well. They're just in the planning stage. I'm still just at the end of my recovery of a calf strain, so I should be good next week. So this is rolling your eyes every time I'm on camera. A lot of the time I'm on camera, I've always got an injury. I've got a calf strain or a hip flexor strain. Okay, 3, 2, rest. Other side. So sit into the squat. And it's through playing sport is why I get into it. It's not obviously training. I'm really strong in the gym, but when I get out and play sport, obviously things get very physical when you're playing football. It's football mainly I pick up strains, the side things. Even tackling you and pushing off the ball and things, so it does get physical. Look at Premier League footballers, how conditioned they are, and they often picking up things, and they train so regularly, so it's the sport that does it. I'm 37, I enjoy football, and I want to keep playing for a few more years, so my sister's telling me doesn't want me to do it anymore because of the channel, the YouTube, but I think I'm good. I think I've got a few more years in me. I think at 40 I'm gonna hang up my boots, I think. Alright, so you're reaching to the side, you're reaching behind, your core's engaged, really get this glute to work. Okay. Really feel that on my hip. Whew, banded glute bridges, okay, lie on your backs. Go back, head down, feet close to your hips, drive up and squeeze, come down. Right up and squeeze. Now that's your banded banded glute bridges. Again, these are good compared to a standard glute bridge because you've got to keep the pressure against the band. By doing that, it leads to more engagement in your glutes. So you'll find that when you're bridging up, you can really feel that bit more tension in the hip area as you get that squeeze at the top. Another way you can progress it is to have your feet elevated onto a step. I always find it gives me a bit of extra tension as well. Okay, go single leg glute bridges. You've obviously got hip thrust with a barbell or a sandbag or something. Lots of ways to activate the glutes. I'm just showing you a selection for today's workout. So work the hips. And the reason why I've done the bodyweight stuff as well as the lunges in the squats is, like I said earlier, is just to integrate it into an actual movement pattern. Because in here we're kind of isolating areas, or isolating the hips. But in everyday life we move in movement patterns, don't we, in everyday life. So in everyday life you won't be on the floor doing that as movement, you know? So we go into a squat, and this is obviously more of a, as you say, functional movement. Functional just being really, as a buzzword, but just, you know, something you're doing in your daily life that serves you a function. Obviously, most people will squat at some point through the day, I imagine. And whether you're going to the toilet or whether you're, like you said, picking up kids, picking up shopping, you've got to bend down to the floor and pick stuff up. So, alright, so sink back into the hips, chest up. Again, you can reach out the arms to counterbalance you if you like. Okay, so we'll just hold the hands. We've only got 9 minutes, guys. We've done well. It goes quickly. I just want to make it a nice, efficient, time-efficient, effective workout for you guys. We kept it 25 minutes long. I know people are very short on time these days. I run a 30-minute studio in North London, the Carlos Method. Fitness studio we've been running for 6 years now, so that's been going from strength to strength always. But people are time poor. They don't have a lot of time on their hands. Lateral band walks next. So the 30-minute stuff that we've got back in North London it works great for people, you know. Okay, so sit into a quarter squat. We go go as many as you can, 2 or 3 to one side, and 2 or 3 to the other. I've got to be careful with my limitation of my ankles here. You're really stretching on that band, getting the top of the hip working, squeezing on that band. Lateral band walks. Again, like I said earlier, if you want to pause the video and change bands, make sure it's heavy enough for you. If it's too light and you don't feel like you're doing anything, obviously it's not going to be worth it, it's a bit pointless. You need to stimulate the tissue, you need to overload, you need to feel a burn in the muscle. I've kept up the same band just for ease of use, just for the video, for filming, but probably if I was on my own training, I'd switch the bands up a bit more to suit, you know, what we wanted to get out of the exercise. A few more seconds here, so you're sitting back, big squeeze on the band, get that top of the hip firing off. Okay, we're going to monster walks here. So diagonal, reaching out to the side, and then back, yeah. Okay, so really focus on your glutes, guys, glutes, okay? So as you're going diagonally out, that lead leg, you're really trying to get that hip to work. And then back, yeah, I know, I can see it. She's always doing this now. I know I need to be on there. Okay, there, sit down low. It's this point here, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, so this is your banded monster walk, guys. I tell you, these are really effective, these are, because it's working the glutes in different directions, you know? This diagonal. Doing stuff behind the camera to make me laugh. Silly. So my sister behind the camera, she does all the back end of it. Obviously I'm in the front of the cam doing the videos and stuff and the brand, but she does all the work behind the camera and does a hell of a lot of work behind the scenes. Bodyweight reverse lunges. Okay, I'll slip that on. Okay, so we'll kick over there. Right, nice and tall, we're good there. Abs tight. I'm just showing you side profile, guys, you can see the angles, okay? Okay, now I'm working in the ranges that suit me. I say all the time, people probably get fed up a bit, but I do need to say it. I've got lordosis in my lumbar spine, so I will move in ways that suit me and that feel comfortable for me. This is a good set of angles for me. You want your legs at 90-90, and just move in the positions that you find comfortable. You're feeling in the right areas, so glutes, hamstrings, quad. Okay. Obviously, calves are working a bit to help leave you off the back. In terms of weight distribution, you probably want about 80% on your front leg, 20% on the back leg. The back leg's more for balance really. Okay. Well, I'm going to headbutt that wall in a second. Alright, nice and tall, sinking back on that leg. It's good to challenge your balance. The reason why I like these reverse lunges, for some people they're easier on the knees. Obviously we're doing some front lunges as well, but some people prefer these reverse lunges on the knees. Bodyweight sumo squats, feet wide, toes out, and sit back into the hips. And a nice one to open up through the hip. And when I'm in the studio back in North London, I give a lot of bodyweight stuff to clients because at the end of the day, how much weight do you really need to squat, ultimately? If you're playing sport, rugby, football, obviously you need to be up to a certain strength standards to help with injury prevention. And if you're obviously a powerlifter or someone where you're going into competitions where you've got to lift a lot of weight, or an athlete of some kind, yeah. But for everyday people on the street, what's more important, I think, is mobility, endurance in the muscles, a little bit of strength, definitely. But you don't need to go heavy, heavy, heavy. And sometimes in the studio, we do a lot of bodyweight stuff, you know, bodyweight squats, lunges, then we go into some jumping stuff. We do load with some light weights, high reps. You don't always need to go, you know, people get up with the bar and load the bar up way too much. And the movement sometimes isn't that great as well. It causes a lot of problems down the line. It just really throws the back out of alignment. Forward lunges, nice and tall. We're going here. So forward lunges, like I said earlier, if you go back a little bit, there. So like I said earlier, if you find this irritates the knee, the front loading lunge, then you can just go back to the reverse lunge. That's absolutely fine. Let's go to one we've done a couple of exercises ago. And for those that can, again, this is a good variation of forward lunge. You've got to decelerate your weight and then push up. Decelerate and push up. So it's quite good in that respect. If you've got good knees, your knees are okay. Again, it just puts a different demand on their quads, on the hips. And once, yeah, like I said, once you get good at these basic movement patterns, you can then load them more advanced. You've got jumping lunges, jumping squats, and obviously you look weighted as well. That's down the line. Make sure you get, like I said, dial in the movement, get it correct, get it nice and neat before loading and moving on. Bandage fire hydrants, get this going on again. Quick changeovers. On all fours, we good there? Oh, 3 minutes guys, just over 3 minutes. So stay with me working here, core tight, out to the side. Really get that right glute here, really get it kicking off in there. And I do talk a lot in these videos. I like to stay interactive, I like to keep people engaged. Probably waffle on a little bit sometimes. I always talk about my arch back a lot. I just like to keep talking to the camera, keep things moving. On the side, switch sides. Quite boring otherwise. Yeah, exercise can be quite boring sometimes. It's good if there's some entertainment on screen in front of you. Just keep pushing you through it. Okay, so abs are tight. Back's nice and long. I'm really working that hip through as much range as I can. Getting that abduction through the hip. Working that glute. So your fire hydrant, your bandage fire hydrant. Okay, clamshells either side. So, lying down here. Feet in line with the hips. 45-degree drop off from the knees. I'm going to open out here. So your bandage clamshells. Okay, so open out as far as you can. Really get that top of the hip to work the glutes. Okay. What we got for lunch later, Beck? What we got? We're going to do a Thai curry, aren't we? We've got a Thai red or green curry. After this, it'll be well deserved. This is my second workout today. Other side, switch sides. So, feet in line with the hips. 45-degree drop off from the knees. There. And we're good. Come on, Wes. Open out as far as you can. Make sure you don't rotate your hips. You're just working through that knee. Opening out as far as you can, abducting. You're not turning your whole body, contorting or twisting your whole body. 3 seconds left. Okay. Stationary lunges. Okay, so last exercise. Both sides. So, take that band off. We good? So nice and tall, lunges on the spot. So core tight. This is your finisher, guys. So all the way up, all the way down. Just work the range you can. Now, if you can go below 90 on the hip here, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. I once went too low on lunging it. No, it can irritate the kneecap, with bursitis and stuff. Just get the angle just right. Just go to whatever you've got. The thing is, we've all got different muscle tensions, previous injuries, joint restrictions, tissue restrictions. So just work what feels comfortable. Gradually you can go lower into it. Just change sides. We go back. Yeah. Core tight. And stationary lunges just to finish off the workout. This will be your 25-minute banded workout for the legs. Resistance band workouts for the legs. 10 seconds left here, guys. I really feel that nicely there. 5 seconds. Fantastic work, really work, guys. Whew. Thanks a lot for following along to that workout. I really appreciate it, really appreciate the support. Like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Keep following us, we're posting workouts every Monday and Thursday. Thanks a lot, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next workout. Bye bye.